Get woke, go broke, NHL. You guys remember this story? They wanted all the players to wear pride jerseys. And then this one dude comes out and he's like, nah, I ain't doing none of that. And then it caused this massive spike in sales for his jersey. We've seen this every time a major athlete says, screw you, go America. I am not going to wear your jersey. I'm not going to kneel. People support. There's a massive outpouring of support for the athlete. And once again, we have another story. You see, the escalation is upon us. Regular people are sick of this stuff. They're sick of the kneeling. There was a period, remember Colin Kaepernick was like, I'm going to kneel. And it was a big controversy. And people were like, I'm going to burn this gear and whatever, and I'm going to oppose this. Now we're at a point where a few years later, everyone kneels, everyone wears the jersey, but the tides are turning. NHL may cancel LGBT Pride Nights as growing number of players refuse to wear rainbow gear. Bravo, gentlemen. I just want to say to all of the athletes who want to wear the jersey, well, go for it, man. I got no beef. If Colin Kaepernick wants to kneel, I roll my eyes. I say, sure, fine, whatever. But it's when they make you do it. Now, more importantly, I'm hoping for social pressure that stops all of it. It's sports, man. People want to just watch a game of hockey. But I warned about this, and I'm telling you, I think it'll get worse. I was talking about this like 5-6 years ago, while we're seeing the demand that we include, women and trans people, minorities in various elements of sports, it will come to major league sports as well, because the rules are arbitrary. We made them up. So here's what happens. In all major league sports, there is no gender restriction. A woman can try out for any basketball team, any baseball team. Guess what? They tend not to make the cut. Or I say tend not to. They never do. Because women tend to be smaller, less muscle mass. Some women have almost gotten signed as kickers in the NFL, but they still don't quite make it. So they want all this DEI in sports. Yeah, well, don't be surprised if sooner or later they try to pull some garbage where it's like the team must be half women. But let's read about this, because I got to be honest, seeing this, it kind of feels like we're going in the other direction. And people are standing up and saying, we don't want this stuff in our sporting events. But before we read this story, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing announcement. Head over to castbrew.com to pre-order your Cast Brew coffee. That's right. We have launched our coffee brand. We have my personal favorite, Rise with Roberto Jr. If you're a fan of Roberto Jr., pick up his new breakfast blend. We announced this officially last night. And within the span of about 20 or 30 minutes, we sold over $5,000. I know it's just $5,000 in coffee that we sold. But it's a start. And the reason I think this is important is that we want to sponsor ourselves. We want to build companies that challenge the machine, that build culture. It's not just about complaining online. It's about making things. So along with the coffee shop that we're building and the private club, become a member at timcast.com. Castbrew.com is now officially up, and you can pre-order. The coffee will ship by about May 5th. The reason it's a pre-order is because we're starting the production line right now. So you pre-order this. We load it up. We got whole bean and ground versions. You got a little silhouette of Roberto Jr. right there. Rise with Roberto Jr. is our breakfast blend, and then our signature Appalachian Nights. If for those that like robust, dark coffees, it's dark. It's not quite as dark as espresso roast or anything like that, but it is a very dark blend. And we also have French roast and Colombian. Castbrew.com. Help support the show, help support the new coffee company, and we got a lot more coming. But let's read the news, because that's what you're here for. The Post-Millennial says, in response to an increasing number of players engaging in silent protests against the NHL's Pride Nights, a new report claims the league is reevaluating the events which may lead to them being canceled. Currently, all of the teams in the NHL hold Pride Nights. However, some now do so without the themed jerseys, as the events are planned by the individual teams, not the league. League Commissioner Gary Bettman said in an interview with CTV News, when asked about the players that have refused to wear Pride-themed jerseys this season, quote, "This is the first time we've experienced that, and I think it's something that we're going to have to evaluate in the offseason." Citing religious beliefs, several players have declined to participate in pregame warm-ups while wearing Pride-themed jerseys. Bettman told the outlet, "This is one issue where players, for a variety of reasons, may not feel comfortable wearing the uniform as a form of endorsement. The commissioner continued, but I think that's become more of a distraction now because the substance of what our teams and we have been doing and stand for is really being pushed to the side for what is a handful of players basically have made personal decisions, and you have to respect that as well. I just want to say, to all the players who mindlessly wear this stuff, I have very little respect for you. If you support it, support it. If you don't, don't. But if you're a mindless zombie like, I don't know, then you are a zombie problem. Last Thursday night, Florida Panthers players Eric and Mark Stahl refused to wear the jerseys, citing their Christian beliefs. The pair said in a statement, well, let me read the full statement. Check this out. Oh, no, that's from James Reimer. This other pair said, we carry no judgment on how people choose to live their lives and believe that all people should be welcome in all aspects of the game of hockey. Having said that, we feel that by us wearing a pride jersey, it goes against our Christian beliefs. A statement from goaltender James Reimer, he says, under the umbrella of the NHL's Hockey is for Everyone initiative, the San Jose Sharks have chosen to wear jerseys in support of the LGBTQIA community tonight. For all 13 years of my NHL career, I have been a Christian, not just in title, but in how I choose to live my life daily. I have a personal faith in Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for my sins, and in response, he asks me to love everyone and follow him. I have no hate in my heart for anyone, and I have always strived to treat everyone that I encounter with respect and kindness. In this specific instance, I am choosing not to endorse something that is counter to my personal convictions, which are based on the Bible, the highest authority in my life. I strongly believe that every person has value and worth, and the LGBTQIA community, like all others, should be welcomed in all aspects of the game of hockey. That's James Reimer. Other players have taken similar actions for their religious beliefs, such as Philadelphia Flyers defenseman Ivan Provorov and San Jose Sharks goalie James Reimer. After refusing to wear the pride jersey, Provorov jerseys immediately sold out online. You'll love to hear it. It's not about disrespect for the flag, the pride flag, or whatever. It's about people standing up for what they believe in and saying, you're not going to make me do something I don't want to do. You're not going to make me support something I don't support. Look at this one. Jack Posobiec, journalists are now crying on air because Provorov wouldn't wear a pride jersey.
Three things, technically. Provorov also spoke to the media after the game and echoed what Tortorella said, so I didn't feel the need to run it. This happened in baseball last year with the Tampa Bay Rays. There were 5 members of the Tampa Bay Rays who wouldn't wear a patch supporting gay rights. And Major League Baseball didn't do much. It was a story for a little bit. John Tortorella, many years ago, when racial injustice, and it still is till this day, but when Colin Kaepernick first started kneeling during national anthem, said anyone who does that on my team is going to sit. And he has a son who's an Army Ranger. So it's not like Tortorella in the past hasn't spoken on sensitive issues.
You see how angry they get when people on the right do exactly what they did? They said, everybody stand for the national anthem. And Colin Kaepernick was like, I'm going to kneel. And they went, okay, no, we're mad about this. There was a big hubbub, it was a big controversy. And then a couple of years later, everyone was kneeling in every sport. Few people, men and women, would stand. And they got so mad. Now, they're trying to command everybody to wear pride jerseys. And a handful of people are like, I'm not going to do that. And they are getting mad. People used to protest for injustice and you're going to cry about it. I think these people are an insane death cult, right? And I think people should stand up to them. Buffalo Sabres defenseman Ilya Lyubushkin has announced that he would not take part in the pregame warm-up Monday because the team is scheduled to wear pride jerseys due to fears of retribution at home in Russia because of the Kremlin's anti-gay law. The Chicago Blackhawks opted for their players not to wear the pride jerseys, citing Russia's anti-gay law, stating that they were concerned for their players' safety when they return home. Look, man, I hope this keeps happening. I hope more and more people stand up and say, we will not bend the knee to this. If you want to wear the pride jersey, man, go for it. Do it with my blessing. But the idea that the corporations are telling all of their players, this is what you have to do? Nah. You can't corporate force politics onto people in this way to astroturf support for your insane cult. And I say it's an insane cult because there's a big difference between someone being gay, trans, or otherwise, or bi or lesbian or whatever, and what they're promoting. They're promoting drag shows for kids. They're overt sex shows for, that's what they're promoting. They're promoting something beyond just live and let live. They are promoting right now, especially as we see the violence on Monday. They are promoting these ideas and these ideologies, which are increasingly making things worse for everybody. So, to my good friends in the NHL, and to people like Kyrie Irving and Aaron Rodgers standing up and just being like, yo, I'm going to do my thing. Bravo to these athletes, because this is what we need. We need people to look up to. Kids are going to look up to these guys and they're going to say, I want to be like them. Strong convictions. They know what they want to do. They know what they should do, and they know what they shouldn't do. So I respect it, man. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Bravo to these athletes. You'll love to see it. I'm going to leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.